Dota 2, the game you should never play with real life friends. In this video, we are going to find out a few of the reasons why that might be. But in all seriousness, in this video, we are going to be talking about Dota 2 sins that everybody should be avoiding. If you're not sure exactly what I mean, let me give you an example. These are the sort of things that cause this sort of reaction. So with that all being said, here are some Dota 2 sins that, in all honesty, just don't do these things. The first of the Dota 2 sins that causes a bad time for your whole team for the entire game from the get-go is refusing to roll for a position. That is at the beginning of a game where two people will indicate on the map that they want to either go mid or bottom or top, and they will both want to play that same role. Now, in the game, you can press /roll to actually decide who gets that position. The higher number gets the position. End of story. That's just how it works. It's fair. It's even. The game decides. That's all it is. So let's take an example. Let's say you and one other person goes into mid lane, and you both want to play mid, and you type /roll into chat, and then you wait and you look and you wait and you wait to see what the other person is going to do. They don't press roll. You've rolled a nice even 50 right down the middle, and you're just waiting. They don't press roll. Instead, they just pick their mid hero, and it's all absolutely screwed. Yes, you can now move into a different lane, but do you really want to be the one to move lane when they're the one that's just forced that and not even had the even chance when you had the decency to offer a role to this person? Well, frick that guy. But yes, this is one of the many sins in Dota 2. Guys, if you are both trying to get a lane, just use the /roll and just abide by it, stick to it. If you get a lower number, just move to a different lane. It's absolutely fine. Next game, you'll probably be able to get the lane that you wanted, and if not, just do the same thing again. It is what it is. You can still have fun in a different lane. That being said, if somebody does do this and they do force it upon you to have to play somewhere else, or they're hoping that you do anyway, I would suggest probably just changing lane. One, because if you both go mid and fight over mid and mess around, and you're not just ruining it for this person. Now, I know in your head you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to ruin this person's game. They're going to have a crap time. But you're not just doing that. You're ruining it for the other people in the game as well. Not just the people in your team, mainly for those people, but the enemy team as well. Just not going to have a good game if it's just ruined like this. So think about the other 8 people in the game, not yourself and the other person. Change lane and you can still have some fun out of the game that you've been given. Sin number 2 isn't even in the game yet. We are still on the picking and banning phase, specifically the banning for this one. When you get into the game, you have the option to ban some heroes. Now, if someone is showing a hero in lane because they want to play that, and you know that they want to play that, or they call it, they say, I'm going to play SF mid, or I'm going to play Lifestealer bottom, or something like that, and then you go ahead and ban that hero because you don't like it in general. If you just think it's a bad hero, or you just don't want to do it, don't ban their hero. Just maybe say to them, hey, I play really badly with this hero in my team, can you please pick something else, because then we have a better chance of winning. This is the better way to do it. That person's now going to be more inclined to actually change their hero rather than you just banning it. If you ban it, yes, and if the ban goes through, then happy days. You've banned it, right? But no, because then they're going to get angry. They're going to go, what the F? Why would you ban my hero? How dare you? That's ridiculous. And then you know what they're going to do? They're probably going to just either be angry at you for the entire game ruined, it's not fun anymore, and or 2, they're going to just troll you and pick something stupid, pick something worse, or they're going to pick the hero that you want to play and ruin the game for you in some way. They're going to get their own back, and it's not going to be fun for you or the other 8 people in the game as well. So yes, please do not ban or pick the heroes that your allies are wanting to have. If they are showing that they want to play it, don't steal it from them, don't ban it from them. There's just no need. So this is sin number 2. Sin number 3. Never tip the enemy before you are winning. So in the game, you can tip people whenever things are going really well or really bad. I think this was initially intended to tip someone for a good thing, like something good happens, so you tip them, right? I think that was the initial thing, but it's been changed to a sort of very bad-mannered kind of thing and something to try and tilt the enemy with. For example, if you are in mid lane one-on-one and you outlast hit somebody or you kill somebody, you get first blood, You tip them. You tip them and it makes them tilt a little bit. Sometimes it will make them tilt so much that you do win games. Okay, this can be a viable tactic, of course. Please do not tip someone before the game is like, at least until you have a very good lead, because there is nothing worse than when you tip someone and you're like, I killed you, got first blood, tip, and yeah, it's just playful fun. But I guarantee you later on that game, if you start to lose, when you die, that game is getting paused and all of their team is going to tip you and they're going to just do the exact same thing to you. Now, okay, this is just good fun. It is what it is. But there's been plenty of times as well where someone has tipped the enemy and I'm like, oh no, my ally just tipped the enemy. We're not even ahead yet. And then you suddenly see the enemy play try hard as hell, and it is just rip. It is just, why? Why did you have to tempt them? Why did you have to make them angry, dude? Like, save your tips for when you're absolutely stomping, or just use them as intended. But this one's a bit of fun. If you want to tip people and mess around, then tip people and mess around. It is what it is. I do it sometimes. It's funny. It's just part of the game now. Sin number 4 is picking PA. Okay, let's go to number 5. Sin number 5 is not banning PA. Awesome. Let's go to number 6. Back to real seriousness. The next sin is actually if you are walking past a camp where someone has spent ages trying to freaking kill a jungle camp. Maybe it's one of your supports who has left you in lane to farm. Your position 1, they've left you in lane, they've given you all the XP, all the farm, and they're just trying to kill a freaking neutral creep. They've got their centaur down to the last 2% health, and you walk past and last hit it. This is not fun. This is the, man, this is the most toxic, horrible harassment thing I can think of anybody doing. Holy crap. It makes your blood boil. You're there, you're a crystal maiden, you freeze the creep, you're attacking it, you're attacking it, you're attacking it, boom. Your stupid PA comes along, uses a dagger or last hits it just normally, and just walks off like nothing ever happened, and you're like, huh, thanks. Just gave you the full lane, just pulled it, all those camps for you. I can't have one freaking centaur. Oh, yes, your PA is position 1. It is good to give them the farm. But you know what? When you've been working on that freaking creep for so damn long and it's just been taken from underneath you, it is heartbreaking. It really, really is heartbreaking. Sin number 7. This barely happens. It is super interesting to me why this never happens in a game where there is such toxicity. But this is one thing that seems to be just a given rule. And if you break it, it is one of the biggest sins. If you are going to teleport to mid lane, you can get your mid laner to give you their bottle to recharge the actual bottle, right? You're going to get it completely filled up for them. You can then give that bottle back to them and they have a full bottle, giving them a really good edge in lane. But it is a sin, an ultra sin, a terrible, terrible thing if when they give you that bottle, you just walk off and don't give them it back. That is horrible. Do not do this to people. That, like, what the frick? But it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. If I am in a game with random players that I don't know and someone says, hey, chuck your bottle down by the tower, when I teleport in, I'll fill it up and give it back to you, I believe them. I don't even doubt it for a second. I do it, they give it back, happy days, right? I guess it's because everybody wants to win and this is going to make you win. But once every now and again, like very, very rarely, I've had this happen. Someone puts the bottle down by the tower, the person TPs in, and that person just walks off and goes, hey man, thanks for the bottle, good luck in lane, F you. Don't do this. This is so horrible. And if this actually happens a lot, then people are going to stop doing this thing, and it's super helpful. It's, I don't know, you guys, come on. Don't be that guy. And the final sin for this video is going to be forgetting that everybody has bad games. Don't flame your teammates if they're having a bad game. If they're just losing lane, it is what it is. People lose lanes. There's always going to be people that are better than you. So you are going to lose lanes. In fact, even the international winners are still going to lose lanes sometimes. So don't expect your laners, your mid laner, your side laner, or whatever, to always win lane. That's Dota 2. That's how it works. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you can still win a game if you lose a lane. Just keep that in mind. Don't flame your team because they lost a lane. Help them. If they're struggling in mid, go and help them. It is a complete and utter sin to just flame them and leave them to suffer when you could be helping them out instead. So keep that in mind. And that brings us to the end of part 1. There's probably going to be more parts of this, let's be honest, of sins in Dota 2. Now, if you can think of any more, then drop them in the comments and I will use your comment as the actual part for the next bit if we do this again. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please do sub to the channel if you like this sort of content, and I'll catch you all in the next one.